What up, y'all? It's I2I35, aka Josiah David, and sorry I haven't done a video of Saul Rosenberg in a long time. I mean, I've been caught up with a lot of daily routines and just watching a lot of educational material here and there, and really meeting a lot of certain folks and helping strengthen their faith in the Word of God and everything. But I'm glad to continue this, and nothing says quite like responding to a man who is quite barbarian by definition, this SolRosenberg84 guy who really doesn't use any logic or any reasonable or truthful statements in his videos. He's just pretty much left, right, and center with a lot of fancy words out there, and he just rather resorts to cyberbullying, internet bullying, just all over the place. And this next one is called The Adolescence of Humanity. Now, in this one, again, he was quite left, right, and center, and nothing says quite like responding to a guy who's like 200 years behind in his science, and he doesn't realize the obvious evidence of how everything is intelligently designed, and he gives the false view of evolution all the credit where it shouldn't be. And in this section, he talked about the adolescence of humanity and ego and such. For those who don't know, ego was put forth by the mind of Sigmund Freud, who described it as either a sort of a pride, or it's one of the primary components of the human mind. And he talked a lot about how minds are supposed to connect to the other, but he even mentions Carl Sagan in this once. Now, Carl Sagan was a Jewish man. I try to love every Jewish person who I come across. Carl Sagan was definitely intelligent, but he was not wise. I just have to have this part to say about it.
But I find this one has brought me a much greater measure of peace. I think it completed the gaps, the holes, and perhaps the last breakthrough I had. And it mainly...
I tried to mention that he doesn't really even put forth the idea that perhaps the geologic column is not millions of years old, that the evidence for ape men is fraudulent, that his careless views regarding the world around him are avidly wrong, and he's not willing to humble himself and such. I mean, how hypocritical it is for him to talk about ego and what it is and such, I really don't get it. So, I have not much to say for this video. I'm glad to get back on the track of actually reviewing his flawed and unworthy and barbaric videos. I mean, Saul Rosenberg, why should you be laughing at me? I should be laughing at you. All of us creationists should be laughing at you, that you believe the silly idea that we all came from a rock 4.6 billion years ago, 3 billion years ago, whatever you think. Why defend a dying, dangerous, fallacious, erroneous worldview? Life only comes from life, never from living material. Just cut it out. And if you were trying to say that you were raised in Catholicism, nod your head yes or no. Were you raised in Catholicism? I have to say, you've unsubscribed from one lie and gone to another lie. Catholicism is not a true form of Christianity, whether you like it or not. Quite antisocial, and brother, I'm just going to say, quit your whining and go serve God. It's that simple, okay? God can actually take care of all your problems for you. He is the answer to everything, okay? And everything in the evidence in the field of science, history, archaeology, anthropology, etc., even in math and mathematics, all points to His glory and to His well-design of the universe. So that's all I got to say for this video. Peace out. Keep on thinking.